My name is Sylvana Inocent, and I will be explaining that policies against body modification, such as piercings and tattoos in the workplace, is discrimination. A few weeks ago, when I was having my eyelash extensions refilled, my lash tech's 4-year-old daughter said to me, "I don't know why you have an earring on your forehead." Her mother and I laughed it off because she was referring to my eyebrow piercing, and we understand that this is a common experience for people when they see someone with an aesthetic that they don't understand. Unfortunately, this type of lack of understanding has led to different forms of discrimination, and this type of discrimination goes on in the workplace in the United States today. Throughout the week, I interviewed friends and family members about their experience with these discriminatory policies, and I myself have experienced these discriminatory policies because I've been in the workforce for over 10 years and I have visible facial piercings and body tattoos. Even though people all over the world have different types of body modifications, and the Civil Rights Act of 1964 was put in place to protect these type of cultures, this type of discrimination still goes on. Piercing is actually very common in the United States. According to Martin Katz, Peter Elsner, and Andrea Bauer's 2008 article titled "Body Modifying Concepts and Dermatological Problems, Tattooing and Piercing," they state that in their study of college students, 60% of women and 42% of men were pierced, commonly on their ears, eyebrows, nostrils, lips, nose, nipples, navel, and even genitalia. Even cultures outside of the United States that have even immigrated here, people have piercings. So in India, nose piercings is a symbol of coming of age for women. There is a pressure point in the left nostril that is linked to the reproductive system, and the benefits of having their left nostril pierced is to relieve menstrual pain and ease childbirth. So in India, the nostril piercing is a symbol that a woman is of childbearing age, and it helps them manage the pain of being a woman. Ear stretching or gauging dates all the way back to ancient times, where even King Tut in ancient Egypt had his ears stretched. Indigenous cultures in the Mexican region, such as the Mayans and the Aztecs, had different types of piercings and gauges to symbolize their status in their society. And an Iceman was found perfectly preserved in the Alps between Italy and Austria, that dated all the way back to 3300 BC, that had stretched ears. Even though piercing is common practice around the world, there are industries in the United States that do not allow this, and the industries that I interviewed my friends about that they worked for were hospital systems, the military, property management, cell phone carriers, different types of restaurants, the hospitality industry for hotels, food and beverage, and even in retail. Each one of their employers in these industries gave different kinds of reasons, but very similar. The most common reason was to look professional. To not have piercings would maintain professionalism. In the hospital systems, they said, to appeal to the elderly, or, so patients wouldn't be able to grab onto anything. In property management, they said, they don't want any negative connotations for their employees. And even for the cell phone carriers, it was to look clean cut. Along with piercings, tattooing is common in American cultures as well. In Quanah Chasing Horses 2022 CNN article, she states that she received her first facial piercing at the age of 14 in a sacred ceremony that signifies coming of age. Quanah Chasing Horse is a Indigenous American who is a model and civil rights activist. Also, in Hawaiian culture, their tribal tattoos are known as cacao, and these tribal tattoos are used for ornamentation or even distinction. They guard mental health and spiritual well-being. Even different symbols in these tattoos, like lizards, are very respected and feared, and even the Hawaiian crescent is symbolizes the highest ranking people in the society. Okay. So even though these are American cultures, there are businesses that do not allow visible tattoos. And grocery stores like Publix, once again, the food and beverage industry, like hotels, and even school systems. A couple of my friends work for Collier County School District and even Palm Beach County School District. And once again, different retail stores as well. And they had similar, and once again, starts with professionalism, but, and then also just to look clean, which is very common as well. So the Civil Rights Act of 1964, Title VII, states that an employer cannot discriminate based on race, color, religion, sex, or national origin. Many of my friends were lucky enough to have worked in industries that actually respect this Civil Rights Act, and the reasons why one of my friends worked for the Child Protective Services in New York, and she said that they felt that piercings and tattoos would make you more relatable to children and families. The cosmetology industry, none of my friends that worked in a salon or a spa faced that type of discrimination. And then one of my friends who worked in a behavioral health facility, that company specifically said that they value individuality and expression of personalities. So even in some of the previous industries that I said before, there are companies that respected people's cultural symbols and body modifications.